Hey guys, Corey here with Corey's Coins. This is a new YouTube channel for me. It's kind of a fresh venture into crypto mining, and I was running a very successful reptile breeding program out of this giant building that I had built in my front yard up here in Alpine, California, Southern California, and moving on from that, after about 18 years of doing that, and this building is effectively becoming the new cryptocurrency mining facility. I started Corey's Coins LLC, which is a cryptocurrency mining company, and I wanted to kind of bring you guys along for the journey. Right now, most of my mining equipment is off-site at a site that has a larger solar system on it, and then we're slowly moving everything over here, and we will be adding about 150 to 175 solar panels onto this property. So I'll bring you guys through that whole process as well, figuring out where to put the panels and how we can get all that done, because it is a massive system. So we are running into some issues with being able to have the infrastructure even to just backfeed that amount of energy back onto the power grid, which is one of the things I didn't really think about when I started designing the thing. So but I wanted to right now talk to you guys about HNT mining, or Helium hotspot mining. So right now I have a Bobcat Miner 300 hooked up in the building, and I am at 2,500 feet elevation here in Alpine, and my property has a clear line of sight to all of pretty much East County, San Diego. So all of Lakeside, Santee, La Mesa, El Cajon, Rancho San Diego. So the idea is we actually have our 10 dBi antenna up there. It's about 30 feet off the ground, and if you take a look this way, you can kind of see there is clear line of sight all the way that way. So there's no mountains, no nothing, all the way that way into East San Diego. So what I want to do is see how I can communicate and get witnesses and everything with everybody down there. I know a lot of you guys are in city areas. I didn't see a whole lot of information of people in kind of rural areas or on mountaintops, which that 10 dBi antenna, I think I'm losing about 2 dBs, so it's probably only working somewhere around 8 dBi because of the long cabling, even the low low resistance cabling that's going from the antenna into the building. But as of right now, I just actually, so I have 5 HNT miners on order that I ordered about 14 weeks ago. So I'm waiting on 4 synchro bits and another Bobcat HNT 300, another Bobcat 300 miner to come in. I have access to 4 properties up here in Alpine, and as it looks now that I just checked, there's actually 3 other people that have HNT miners up here now, but they're still using stock antennas. But when I originally ordered everything, there was nobody up here, so my plan was just to put, spread out my miners up here and then put another couple down in East County, or another one down in East County. But now I'll have enough to use mine, and then I'm hoping, so the idea here is that basically if I can get my antenna high enough to where I can communicate with as many people as possible, the other miners that are up here in Alpine will be able to kind of relay off of that one. And there's another one that's going on the other side of Alpine, essentially, at another property, and I'll get that antenna high up too. So we should be able to fill in most of the coverage and have 2 main miners that are set up to communicate very far away with high dBi antennas. So and what's cool about being up here in Alpine also is that if I really need to, I can use a directional antenna, because there is nobody, if you go farther east on the 8 freeway, which actually helps us because we can essentially use a high dBi directional antenna and just fire it straight towards the cities. So we're gonna see kind of how all that stuff works, how that affects earnings. The halving has already happened. So right now, just to give you guys a heads up, if you do buy a used Bobcat 300, which is what I ended up doing because I'm impatient and I've had all this stuff set up for months now, and I just wanted to get it hooked up and try it because I was bored. You are gonna pay a pretty penny. So I paid $1,700 for a used Bobcat 300. And keep in mind that when you do a transfer of ownership on that Bobcat has to have been mining within the last, I think it's like 1,400 or 14,000 blocks. And HNT actually does this to make sure that nobody sells you a broken miner. So it's actually there to protect you, but what sucks is the guy who I purchased it from had his miner off the blockchain for a week because he put it up for sale. Well, now that I got it, he can't even transfer it over to me until it resyncs and then gets kind of used on the blockchain. So it basically, the blockchain verifies that it works, and then he's able to send it to me. So now I'm at the new location with it all hooked up and syncing to the network, and I have to just wait for it to sync just so it can become mine. And then once it's mine, I would imagine I'm gonna have to resync it when I swap out the address and change where the actual miner is, as far as location. So also keep in mind, you're going to have to open up a special port forwarding on your router. So you need to figure out all that. My router is a pain in the butt. It's ASIC Nightforce or Nighthawk. So just keep that in mind. There are little things you're gonna need to do when you set this up. You don't just plug it in and let it run, especially if you wanna make decent money. So hopefully you guys got something out of that video. I'll keep you posted on everything else as we go, and you guys can keep an eye on the videos. I'm gonna post an update on this guy over the next week or so, or as soon as I feel like I've gathered enough data for you guys to be able to learn something from it. But we'll see how far we can reach out with this antenna up here at 2,500 feet elevation over pretty high populated cities. And my other mining system, I have 42 GPUs and 12 Antminer L3 pluses. So those are all running, and that system makes about $200 a day. So it's also pulling a constant 18,000 watts right now. So we're trying to set up the solar system to be able to negate a 20,000 watt constant pull. That's like 240 kilowatt hours a year. So it's a big system, but hopefully you guys have a good one, and try to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna try to do more of these videos in the future just to kind of fill in the gaps that it looks like other people have kind of been missing out on for the average guy, so, or lady. So keep mining.